come on. Everybody screaming, lighters in the sky, yeah, everybody singing, oh, when the lights come on.
Okay guys, tonight we're going to be installing the 42-inch curved light bar that I got from Auxbeam. It's the X series. Same as the 12-incher I got on the front. I'll have links in the description where you can buy these lights. If you look back in my videos, you'll see an unboxing or overview of both these lights if you want to see more. But this video is going to be about the install here of the 42-inch curved one, and it's going on the roof of the 2016 Polaris Ranger 900. I chose to mount this one with the feet. You can see right there, they slide in a track. There's a track right here, and these feet slide in there, and you can adjust it throughout the whole light, the whole length of the light. There are holes in the frame of these 900 Rangers, at least in the 2016 Rangers. There's a hole right here, and there's another one, same spot, right there. And these are factory drilled holes in the frame, the top frame here. And not only that, but the roof has a spacer on it. So when you tighten them bolts down, you don't distort the roof. I know I see a lot of guys bolting these light bars on the roofs of these Rangers with the plastic roofs, and they're pulling the roofs down and they're distorting them, and it kind of looks funny. But this hole, for some reason, has like a spacer in it, so it doesn't distort the roof. I'm not sure why Polaris has that. I don't know what they planned on bolting up there, but it is there. Also, I had to make a spacer. I had to make two spacers here to bring the light up a little bit, because you can see it's in this groove, and without the spacer it would hit. You can see where it would want to hit. It would want to hit right here, so I had to raise it up a little bit. Also, that gives me some adjustability up and down. Another modification I did have to do to the mounting brackets is I had to put a regular bolt right here. I think it's 6mm. Had to put a regular bolt. They send a stainless one with an Allen head, but you can see there's no room to get an Allen head wrench in there to tighten this down. So I had to put a regular bolt in there. No problem, went in just fine. Tightened down. I really like this. You can see here's the wire. There's the hole, and it's a really tight fit. Probably add a little bit of silicone on that just to make sure it don't leak, but it's coming out right there. So and then this is gonna go right here. I need more light here. It's gonna go back here, down here, and behind the seat is where the wiring is gonna go. But we're gonna get to that in a second. Right now I'm showing you how I mounted it. Okay, so another thing, when I made these spacers and I've got this raised up, I did have to get another longer bolt too to be able to go through all these spacers and the roof. So there's two mounts on the outside of each light. You can do that with if you went with a 50-inch or 52-inch, you could probably use the same mounting holes. And if you didn't have a curved one, I think it should work out too. If you just have a straight light bar, these mounting points should work out for you. But I mean, it's a really clean look with those legs. You don't see any mounting hardware on the outside, and you can barely see the mounting hardware right now because it's kind of hidden almost, which is kind of neat. That's a really neat feature on these Auxbeam lights that I really like. So I guess that's the mounting portion here. We're going to get to the wiring. Okay, so I got the wiring harness laid out on the bench here. It is just like the other wiring harness I had for the X series light that I put on the grill, the 12-incher. So you got a switch that will control the daytime running lights and the regular light. You've got two wires here, the red and the black. These need to go to a keyed power source, and when I say keyed, meaning the power is only on when the switch is on. Otherwise your switch will be on all the time if you put it to constant power. Okay, so then you got these wires here, the blue and white. These are actually the trigger wires from the switch that trigger the relays to actually send power to either your main light or the daytime running lights. Here you have some heavier gauge wire, again black and red. Red is positive, black is negative. These go, they're supposed to go directly to the battery or to your terminals where you're getting the power. These are the heavier gauge. The lighter gauge, you want to put them on a switched power source. So that's that part, and then you have a wires that are in kind of like a plastic loom. These actually go to the light bar itself. You've got the black, which is ground, white, which I believe is that's the daytime running light, and then the blue is the light itself, the main light. So I'm going to route this in my Ranger, and then I'll show you the actual routing that I do. I am going to modify this harness. Again, I'm not going to use this switch here. I'm going to use a different switch. Okay, so here's the switch I'm going to be using. I actually got it from a different light, but it's a lighted switch. It's blue. This is the back of it. It wires up a little differently than the factory switch there, so it's just easier to show you once I get it all wired up what is what. Okay, so the wiring part on the Ranger. Well, you got to do some disassembly. You got to take the hood off. You've got to take your dash off. You got to take the seat off. There's a tray under that. It's got to come off. And you got to take off your floorboards. It's a little dark in here because we've got some lights out in the shop there. So we got to get some new bulbs. But you got to take all this off your Ranger to start the wiring. Okay, so the bulk of my wiring is under the dash there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to run it down underneath the center floorboard there, and then into this battery area, and then finally you go up behind the seat, and I'm connecting right there to the light bar, and then the wires up in the roof go up to the light bar. So that's what I did. I couldn't really find any decent way to go up the front pillars. There's just no room for any wires. These are very thin. So this is the best place that I could find for installing these, running these wires. Next thing is I got to get my switch installed, and I'll show you how I'm going to wire it up for the daytime running lights, I just hooked them to the keyed power terminal right here. On the Rangers, there's a keyed power terminal here, and then grounded it right here to the ground. And then there's a positive. This is where I'm getting all my positive power for the lights. Like I said, I gotta get my switch here. Got my wires right here, 3 wires. We got switched power, ground, and the blue is the trigger wire for the main light. The white one I run, this is the daytime running light trigger, the white wire. Same as the one in the grill. So when the key's on, the daytime running lights come on. I will eventually put the one on the roof on a switch, because I don't really want to run that at night, because like it says, it's a daytime running light. You might have trouble with the police if you're running a light bar. Even though it's not super bright, you probably shouldn't be running. They're going to think your light bar is on if you got lights running on that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn it off in the nighttime. I'm just going to get another switch. I don't have it right now, but I will get another switch that'll just interrupt it and just turn it off. Basically just shut the power off to the daytime running lights on my roof lights. These ones here I'm going to leave on all the time, so the grill one should be okay. Okay, so I got my switch wired up here. This is the switch I showed you I'm using. This is how I've got it wired up. 2 top terminals are grounded. I got 1 ground going to it, and I just did a jumper onto that. Center terminal there is the switched power in, and then I did a jumper off from that to the side terminal. And what that's going to do is that's going to turn on the bottom part, the LED light bar part, and then the blue wire is the trigger wire, which is when you turn the switch on, the power flows out of the blue wire, goes to the relay, turns the relay on, the relay sends the power to the light. So that's how that works. And I don't know if I can show you here, but when you turn the switch on, the switch of the vehicle, I don't know if you can see that or not, but the LED light bar lights up. When you turn the switch on, the light bar up here lights up, and when you turn it off, it turns off. So when that turns on, the light is on. That's the main light. So that's how you get that switch working. Okay, so that's how this switch is wired. I'm not going to guarantee you that all switches are wired up like that, but if you have a lighted switch, a lot of them are wired up like this. So I'm going to unplug this. I got to put this in the dash, then I'll plug it in from the back side. I got to tidy up all my wires, kind of zip tie them, and the wiring is pretty much done on this. Like I said, I'm going to get another switch so I can turn off the daytime running lights. And that's the install of the light bar there. Not real difficult. The majority of your time is running wires and stuff like that. I did have to extend the harness. It wasn't long enough to go all the way down underneath the seats and back up there. But all I did was borrow a bunch of wire from the harness to my grill light. So actually it cleaned up the underside of this pretty good, because I had a bunch of wire just sitting, and now it's just a little bit of wire there. So it actually all worked out pretty good. Okay guys, so little light test here. These are the low beams. This is the high beams, and then the 12-inch X series light bar and the grill. We'll go back to low beams. This here is the light bar on the roof. Looks like I can actually aim that up a little bit more, and yeah, it's bright. It's pretty bright. I really like that 12-inch. I've got the filters on it right now. I've got some yellow filters and the white filters, and you can see it gives me a really nice floodlight. That's low beams, and this is high beams with the 12-inch. And then I turn them all on. Pretty much looks like daylight out here. So, real happy with these lights, guys. Real happy with them. Hope you guys enjoyed the install, and I'll see you in the next one.